So honestly, I'm making this video more for myself than anyone else, but I'm titling this video as "Not everyone is supposed to be a teacher." This is just from my own experience. But this can be about, like, this also delves into, like, not everyone is supposed to be a spirit guide coach. Not everyone's supposed to be a spiritual coach. Not everyone is supposed to be a human design teacher. Not everyone is supposed to be a tarot card reader. Not everyone is supposed to be an entrepreneur. Because I feel like that's where our world is going. Because if everyone is trying to be the outline of the future world, the ideal now is to be a human design teacher. If everyone is trying to become a human design teacher, who are you going to teach? Who are you going to teach if everyone is trying to be a human design teacher? Who are you guiding? And everyone is trying to be a tarot card reader, and everyone knows the tarot card symbolism and the archetypes. And this is from, if everyone is supposed to be a teacher, supposed to be a guide, then where are your students? Think about that. Like, think about that. If we are all learning about human design, the ultimate goal is to then, oh, you can make money from this knowledge. Well, who are you teaching if literally everyone is trying to do that because they see the path of, oh, I can make money from this. This is what is sold to us. But I'm not coming from the perspective of, like, the spiritual guide, but I can see how it is implemented in the spiritual community. In my perspective, currently in a preschool as a flow, and I was pursuing a bachelor's in childhood education because in the state I'm in, it was a requirement to pursue an ECE at least to still continue to work with kids. And I figured, well, someone influenced me. They're like, why go for the ECE when you have a bachelor's? Because you don't know if they're going to require even more. And I've been doing this thing actually called morning pages, which you can learn about that in the Artist's Way. But that tool itself is like the only tool I really use from the Artist's Way. But that tool itself, you basically write 3 pages every morning, ideally. In the Artist's Way, you're not supposed to read them, but I read mine because in the barfing of information, there are some snippets of information, of aha moments, of doorways to my soul where I'm like, oh wow, that's actually like really philosophical, or that's a great, I don't know, doorway into my soul that I never considered. Anyway, one of the things that would constantly come up in these segments was that I wasn't interested in being a teacher, and I basically was like, I don't want to be a teacher, and I would ignore it. I would ignore it because what does society tell you? They say the most, first they say if you work in with early childhood education or with children, they say this is the most humbling career. This is the most greatest career that you could have, working with children. It is seen very highly, but we are paid shit, which is ironic. Anyway, but I noticed in my morning pages what would often come up, recently, the phrase that would often come up was, I don't want to be a teacher. And I always ignored it because, well, I was pursuing a bachelor's of early childhood education, or at least an EC credential, which the goal was to at least have my own classroom as a co-educator, co-teacher, or a lead teacher in a preschool setting. And I went for the bachelor's because I was like, well, I want to be a teacher. Like, this is my goal. I enjoy working with kids, and this is what I want to do. But That was my conscious self, my ego. Like, oh, this is what society tells you, so this is what you need to go for. This is a good career. And recently I decided, like, I've been burnt out. I've called out at least like once a week, and I always thought, oh no, it's the environment, or it's the management, or it's this or that. The point of these morning pages is you're literally just barfing out, and you're basically like, it's basically automatic writing. So your subconscious will come out, your shadow self will come out that you're hiding inside. And I realized I don't want to be a teacher, and this has been a pattern in my life, in the sense of like, I did have a separate YouTube channel where I was making art videos, and I got burnt out from it. And recently I've like taken a six month break from it, because what the audience needs is they want to know how. Videos that had more views is the videos where I was actually teaching techniques. So people want to learn how to draw, but I realized like that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to be a teacher. I didn't want to teach techniques. I just wanted to express myself. I just wanted to make art. I just wanted to make something, and I didn't want to teach. And I mean, that's literally it, bro. If you don't want to be a teacher, don't try to be a teacher, because what's outside of you is telling you, oh, this is an easy way to get money, or this is just like a natural way your career is going already. But I realized like, hey, why am I trying to pursue a bachelor's in early childhood education when I literally don't want to be a teacher? I don't. And even if I was like looking at other parts, other career options, I was like, I don't want to be director. I don't want to be working within a like EC school system. Why am I doing this? And for me, it was a signal of like, not everyone is supposed to be a teacher. Not everyone is supposed to guide people. And maybe you are meant to guide people. So like, this obviously doesn't apply to you. Other people's paths aren't your path. And if you think about it, if everyone's a teacher, then who are the students? This is just like in life. If we're all trying to be human design readers or coaches in some way, who are the students? And right now, I honestly don't know where my path is going. I don't know where I'm being led, but I don't want to continue. I don't want to be a preschool teacher. I don't want to be a preschool teacher like in my 80s and be like, this isn't what I wanted to do. This isn't my path. This isn't what lights me up. This isn't what gets me excited. This doesn't, like today, my job almost like canceled work because for a brief moment the lights were out because of the storm last night, and I was so happy, like I was ecstatic, and I was like, I don't want to be a teacher because the system doesn't appreciate teachers, and I don't feel appreciated, and I feel burnt out. So I don't know where I'm gonna go. And part of it is kind of scary because it's like, well, if I'm not gonna do this, what am I going to do? Just accept the conditioned self says, the mind says, just accept the logical path. Just accept the path that is easy, that is expected, that you know what's coming, that you know A, B, C, the linear path. But the unconditioned self says your soul is craving more. Your soul doesn't align with this path. Maybe it won't align with other people's stories, but at the very least, if you keep getting a message, or you keep repeating yourself and you're ignoring that message from your inner self, and that's probably a signal to yourself to take a pause, to at least take a pause. Wait a moment. Wait a second. We're not going backwards, we're not going forwards, we're just taking a small breath. We're just taking a pause. And then, I don't know, maybe something else will come. because I do enjoy working with children, but I don't enjoy being a teacher. I don't enjoy being put in a situation where I'm telling people what to do, what is right and wrong. They are expected to learn when I'd rather learn beside them. The way our school system is, that we are expected to lead, as teachers, we have all this knowledge, we're expected to lead, but that's not the way I want to live my life. I want to live my life more fluid. So I'm taking a pause, and maybe I will take a pause, but then I decide, actually, I want to go back. I want to pursue a bachelor's. I want to pursue other schooling. But the fact of the matter is, I keep getting a message, an intuitive message, that I don't want to be a teacher. And I'm not making this message like, oh, I know what's next. I have this like aha moment of like, oh, I'm supposed to, like, I don't know. And I know that probably getting a bachelor's, well, I already have a bachelor's, but probably getting a bachelor's in early childhood education, I would probably be able to get another position that pays me higher, but it wouldn't pay me higher in the soul. It would pay me higher in the conditioned self, the earthly binds, but it won't pay me higher in feeding the soul.